Good morning, students. Do you know what is this? This is hand sanitizer. As an ingredient, there is 70% alcohol. If we talk about body spray, in it also it contains 95% alcohol as an ingredient. So what are alcohol? Alcohol are a class of chemical compound. Now, today in this class we will learn about alcohols, phenols and ethers. In this class we will talk about the chapter which is in the chemistry part 2 book, and the page number is 323. The 11th chapter name is alcohol, phenol and ether. Now, can we remind the lesson from class 11 that if we substitute one or more hydrogen atom from a hydrocarbon by another atom or any other group of atoms, it can form entirely new compound having new different entity, new different property and applications. Now, if there is a hydrocarbon which is we are not writing a hydrogen here, as I am going to substitute that hydrogen with a group of atom, that is OH. So this is a aliphatic chain and this is an aromatic ring. Here, if we substitute the hydrogen attached with this carbon with OH group, this is alcohol. And if we substitute the hydrogen here with OH group, these classes of compound are called phenols. So we learn that alcohol are formed when a hydrogen atom in an aliphatic hydrocarbon is replaced by OH group, and a phenol is formed by the replacement of a hydrogen from a aromatic ring. Now, where we can find the alcohols? If we talk about generally common ordinary spirit, that is this. It is used for the purpose of polishing wooden furniture. In it has also 95% above alcohol. If we talk about Dettol, that also contain alcohol. If we talk about sugar we eat, if we talk about cotton and papers, this all contain a long chain polymer containing multiple number of OH group in it. So there are a vast application of the alcohol. So an alcohol is that class of compound which contain a hydroxyl group. The group name is hydroxyl group, that is OH group. So an alcohol is that class of compound which have a hydroxyl group attached to an aliphatic chain. A phenol is that class of compound which contain a hydroxyl group attached with an aromatic ring. So there is another group written here, that is ethers. What are ethers? If we substitute a hydrogen atom from a hydrocarbon by alkoxy or aryloxy group, it forms ether. What are alkoxy group and aryloxy group? If we do not write that hydrogen, the group is alkoxy. If we do not write the hydrogen here, the group is aryloxy. Now, say this is a This is an aliphatic group. Aliphatic group. Now, if we write here O and CH3, this is methyloxy. It is alkoxy. Now, the total molecule is an ether. If we write a aryl ring, if there is a O bonded to any aliphatic or aromatic chain, this is methoxy, this is aryl ring. In this case, this is also ether. So, in this chapter, we will discuss three classes of compounds: alcohol, phenols and ether. If we classify alcohol, we can found monohydric alcohol, dihydric alcohol, trihydric alcohol, polyhydric alcohol. What are these? These are on the basis of number of hydroxyl group attached to a molecule. If we write CH3OH, this is monohydric alcohol. If we write CH2, there are two hydroxyl group in a molecule. These are dihydric alcohol. If we write glycerin, this is glycerol. There are three hydroxyl group in this molecule. This molecule is trihydric alcohol. So I said a paper is a polymer, long chain polymer containing multiple number of hydroxyl group. So that class is called polyhydric alcohol. Now further we can classify alcohol on the basis of the hybridization of the linked carbon atom. If we say, if the alcohol group is attached to a carbon that is sp3 hybridized, a alcohol group is attached to a carbon that is sp3 hybridized. This is a class of compound. In this class, we can classify further this type of compound in three types. Here, we all know that a sp3 carbon atom can have three bonding linkages with a group OH. So total 4 bonding linkages in it in a sp3 hybrid carbon atom. If this carbon atom having the hydroxyl group, if this carbon atom contain one carbon atom linked with it and these two sites are occupied by two hydrogen, this type of compound are called 1-degree alcohol or primary alcohol. If this carbon atom is linked to two different carbon chain or carbon atom and this one site is occupied by hydrogen, this class of compound are called 2-degree or secondary alcohol. If similarly the carbon atom is occupied by three different carbon chain or carbon atom, this class of compound are called 3-degree or tertiary alcohol. Now, let us take an example. Now, can you say if this this OH is linked to this carbon atom, then this is, as this carbon is linked to 3 different carbon linkage, so this is classified as tertiary alcohol. This is 3-degree alcohol. Now if that hydroxyl group is linked to this, in this case the carbon is linked to 2 different carbon atoms. So this class of compound will be called as secondary alcohol. Now if the alcoholic group is linked to this carbon and this carbon is linked to 1 carbon atom, so this class of compound is called primary alcohol. This is primary alcohol and this is secondary alcohol. Now there are another different type of compound. We can classify these alcohols are allylic alcohol and are benzylic alcohol. What are allylic alcohol? If the hydroxyl group is attached to the sp3 hybridized carbon atom that is linked to a carbon-carbon double bond are called allylic alcohol, and if that is linked to a aromatic ring, that is benzylic alcohol. So we can say that this is a hydroxyl group linked to a sp3 hybridized carbon atom that is adjacent to a carbon-carbon double bond. These are called allylic alcohols. And if this carbon atom is linked to a aromatic ring, if we say in this case this carbon is also sp3 hybridized, but that is connected to a aromatic ring, these are called benzylic alcohol. So from this we have learned that there are a class of alcohols that are linked to sp3 hybridized carbon atom. Now there are another class. There are another class that is the hydroxyl group linked to a carbon that is sp2 hybrid. The next class of compound are carbon that is sp2 hybrid. This can have 2 type of compound, two type of classification, that are vinylic carbon and arylic carbon. Which are vinylic carbon? This is vinylic aliphatic chain, and in case it have a aryl linkage, it is arylic ring. Now if the hydroxyl group is present next to a double bond, these are called vinylic alcohol. If the hydroxyl group is present next to a aromatic ring, these are called arylic, and these are also phenols. These are arylic alcohol, these are also phenol. It can have further more classifications as mono, di, tri, tetra, penta and hexa, not more than that, because aryl ring have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atom. So this is monohydric alcohol. This is monohydric alcohol. This is dihydric alcohol. This is trihydric alcohol. This is tetrahydric alcohol. This is pentahydric alcohol. This is hexahydric alcohol. Now there is ethers. Let us talk about the classification of ether. Ether can be classified in two types. That is simple ether or symmetrical ether. Simple or symmetrical. In this class, an ether having the oxygen linked to same group or same atom. In this case, if we write methyl, this is dimethyl ether. This is dimethyl ether. If we write ethyl group linked to oxygen, this is diethyl ether. These are type of symmetrical ethers. And the another class of ethers are mixed ether or unsymmetrical ether. That are mixed or unsymmetrical. So in this class, the linkage of oxygen, both sides, it contain different type of group. This is methyloxy ether. One side is methyl group, another side is ethyl group. It can have a aliphatic chain linked to a aromatic chain. This is also unsymmetrical class of ether. Now let us check what we learned from this class. Can you say let us assume that all the left vacancies are filled up with hydrogen atom. If we give a OH group to this carbon atom, what is the class of the alcohol? This is 1 degree alcohol. If that hydroxyl group is linked to this carbon, this is 2 degree alcohol, because this carbon atom is linked to 2 carbon atom. If the hydroxyl group is linked to this carbon atom, then this carbon atom linked with three different type of carbon. So this is 3 degree or tertiary alcohol. Now what are let us talk about a molecule. What is the class of this molecule? This is allylic alcohol, because this is linked to a sp3 hybridized carbon atom that is adjacent to a double bond. That is allylic alcohol. If we talk about vinylic alcohol, then we can write the OH is simply adjacent to a double bond. This is vinylic. If we talk about symmetrical, then this is symmetrical ether. If we talk about ether that is unsymmetrical, this is pentane, this is ethane. So the name will be ethoxypentane. In the next class, we will talk about the nomenclature of these 3 classes of compound: alcohol, phenol and ether. Now today's lesson is over. On the next day, you will come with your homework. Try to solve this in-text question, and next day we will talk about this. Have a nice day.